Ambulance sirens roar as wounded Palestinians are carried on stretchers to this Rafah hospital following an Israeli strike on Friday morning. The day before, black smoke rose into the sky from Israeli bombardments. Residents of houses largely reduced to ruins sifted through the rubble.
We're peaceful civilians and there are no military or resistance fighters here. As you see, we're merely civilians. We have nothing to do with the war. There are only children.
A few years ago, Rafah had a population of fewer than 300,000 people. But that number has swelled to 1.5 million as people have fled the fighting elsewhere in the Gaza Strip. Rafah may no longer be relatively safe, however, as Israel seeks total control over the entire Gaza Strip. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected proposed truce terms Wednesday, saying instead that he had ordered troops to prepare for ground operations in Rafah and that Israel's total victory over Hamas was just months away. But as ceasefire talks resume in Cairo, the United States has urged restraint.
Any major military operation in Rafah at this time, under these circumstances, with more than 1 million, probably more like 1.5 million Palestinians who are seeking refuge and have been seeking refuge in Rafah, without due consideration for their safety, would be a disaster, and we would not support it.
In some of his sharpest criticism to date, U.S. President Joe Biden on Thursday called the Israeli military offensive over the top. He said he was pushing hard for an end to hostilities, as well as increased humanitarian aid for Palestinian civilians and the release of hostages taken by Hamas.